Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the Jackocar Cup Series. It is Season 12, Round 7, and we are here for Azerbaijan. Now, last week, on Thursday, we thought we might be getting Azerbaijan. A lot of people seemed to really want Azerbaijan, and then it ended up being Vegas, and we had an absolute pile-up at Turn 1, and the race was ruined. Well, we're going to give it to Baku this week, and maybe we should have just talked about last week, because people seem to clearly want it enough, so 4 rounds to go in the regular season. This is not a race that you want to go wrong, and we know the drivers don't really watch the streams, so we can say that all the sort of accidents that we've seen in the last few weeks, they should be quite a lot worse this week. You'll work it out as we go along, but we're expecting carnage, and if we get any rain, then we're in real trouble. But anyway, we'll worry about that when we get to it. As we sit here in, it looks like sunset conditions, that's going to make it fun going up the castle section. But we'll see how the drivers get on. I'm coming to the own WAT with me. I've got Jacko in the commentary box. And I think I'm quite glad to be in the commentary box for this one. I'm sure you're also pretty pleased to not be having to deal with that sort of sunlight.
Yeah, you know what? Good evening, everybody. I was selecting the time of day just now. There's no rule set. That we've got nothing written in our rules as to what time of day the race should be and what time qualifying should be. So I just put it on official, and apparently this is what official is, but I almost don't believe that. It looks awful, doesn't it? Very bright into the eyes.
Yeah.
But that's not my nor your problem. So
I guess it was hard to tell in real life this year, wasn't it? Because it was a wet qual. It tried to. Well, it did rain during qualifying, so that meant there was plenty of clouds about, so couldn't really tell the level of the sun. But I suppose actually thinking about it, it does always tend to be a late afternoon race, doesn't it, in Baku? So maybe this is realistic. But
maybe
the drivers this week have had time to practice, haven't they? Because you announced the track about half an hour ago, maybe 40 minutes ago. Actually, we're starting at 20 past.
23, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. I released it at 6 o'clock. I can't lie, I thought that treat went out at half past, and I thought oh my god, a KK's crashed at the first corner. I thought we were going at 7, but it's actually 23 minutes past already. Jeez, we had a good, one or two races, and then we're back to normal. Oops.
Standard.
Oh, dear. But, yes, the drivers were told that the track they'll be racing on tonight is Baku, and Michael Okeke has left the pits and gone straight into the tyre barrier at turn 2. That's quite a common thing around here. Back in the olden days of F1 2017, 18, 19, around then, you'd always see drivers come out of the pits on cold tyres and go straight into the wall there. So it's nice to see that Michael Okeke, one of the old school drivers, is keeping that tradition very much alive, but that'll obviously be cutting into his qualifying time. Arnold's just put into the chat that it's going to rain in 15 minutes, which means that he's screwed for his qualifying lap, as he's the fast one at the end of the fast 9. Jacob Sullivan goes before him, and Corey Dalton before that. I mean, any one of those sort of top 5. We'll put Ben Shaw Johannes in there as well. If it rains towards the end of this, then which it sounds like it will do, yeah, could be some trouble brewing there for the qualifiers. And Casper, who's not qualifying because he won the last race, we're pretty pleased about that, I think.
He'd be more than happy, wouldn't he? To be honest, though, when you say 15 minutes, it's only an 18-minute session. I don't think, personally, the rain would have enough time to affect the conditions. We've seen pole positions in this league over the years with rain falling, despite everybody else running in the dry. So a talented driver like Mr. De Grief or Mr. Melez, if they say they're worried about the rain, with how little it's going to impact them, they are just making excuses. So I would ignore it if I were you, Owen. And, let's get qualifying underway. Unless you bitterly disagree with me.
I mean, we did. I know Silverstone, the rain was maybe a little bit heavier, but when it started, it took maybe, for Silverstone reverse, it took maybe, a minute for the track to become too wet for dries, and that was a dry session it started off as. This is a very long lap. So, say Arnold leaves the pits with 2:45 to go, that would suggest the rain may already have started. That means he has to go round for 100 seconds for the outlap, and then another 100 seconds for the lap.
Maybe.
So that could cause him some problems.
I see where you are, but either way, he's so fast. he should just be up there anyway, shouldn't he? You know,
We'll
don't make excuses
wait and
for
see.
the boy.
We'll wait and see. I mean, I tend to agree with you, but we do know
Let
what
them
this
race.
we do know what this game can be like when it rains, and we saw it to great effect in Silverstone. We're yet to have a wet race, though, aren't we, on this game? And no one seems to be saying anything about that in the chat, so we might have to wait a few more races for that.
They're wanting it. I don't know if you saw it right before we kicked off this evening. They're like, "Oh, rain in Baku." It made me think I'd set the weather to rain intentionally. I was like, "No, I haven't." There were a couple calls for it. Casper was one of them. Last week's race winner.
Well, he would say that, wouldn't he, starting from the back?
And on PC. Makes me sick.
I know, it's pathetic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll not have to worry about that this week. We've got plenty more opportunities, though. I'm sure we'll get a wet race at some point. Here comes Leroy. Robin set the first lap time of 41.5. But Leroy looks like he's going to go a little bit slower than that, actually. I'm looking out for MK Bourne as Jimmy Griffith starts his lap. He's been quick in these sort of bottom half of the field sort of qualifying segments, hasn't he? He was fastest last week in Vegas, off the sort of bottom half, then got involved in the pile-up at the start. But of course, this is where he got his first of 2 Jackocar Cup Series wins, all the way back in Season 1. So he does have history here. Very, very sort of ancient history, but again, 5 years ago, not to mention it too much, but it has been that long since he won here in Baku. And I think he's been quietly quite quick. He's just been somewhat quick. I mean, his championship standing clearly isn't that good, but I think if he can just hook it all up together, there's a bit of pace in there for Mike Kelterborn. You could have a Singapore sort of situation from last season where he just sort of pops up in second place, and I wouldn't be surprised. So we'll keep our eye on him.
I tend to agree with you there, Owen, as well. And you think back to his second win, the one he picked up in Canada, how long we had to wait for that. But then you think how long it's been since that as well. It's crazy. So maybe Mike could be due a third Cup Series victory this season. And also, don't bet against him to struggle through the regular season to put himself in the chase, to maybe give himself a shot at going to the Championship 5 through the Championship 4 in the chase. Maybe he wants to bookend his Jackocar career in the Jacko era with Championship 5 visits, because remember, he was there in Season 1 as well. And
he won here to get there, of course, didn't he? That's what that win did for him, as Jamie Griffiths goes second fastest. But it's an interesting set there, actually. So obviously we can now split the Jackocar championship into 2 distinct halves. The first half where Mike Kelterborn won in Season 1, and the second half starting in Season 7 with another Mike win. So we might have to come back in Season 13 for his next.
88 races ago since Mike Kelterborn won in Jackocar.
Is that it? Season 7 feels like so much longer than less than 100 races ago. By the way, are we on to 200 next week?
Race 109 was Canada, and yes, indeed, next week.
Next week.
This week.
Thursday, yes, Thursday. That's what
Thursday is race 200.
Yeah, I need to remember that, because when it's all about race numbers, we've got exactly nothing planned for it. we did a whole build-up excitement show for 100. We've dropped off a wee bit in the last 100 races. I do apologise.
Just a tad.
But oh well, we'll figure something out. Maybe we can get the weather gods involved, have a wet race, because we wouldn't muck about with that, would we? But we've got the idea planning in our heads now.
It doesn't sound like anything we do. Not manipulation.
Never.
All about integrity and solid rules.
Absolutely. Here's Michael KK. Oh, he's really slow. I don't know why I've watched that whole lap. At least he hasn't hit the wall this time. But yeah, Michael there getting a lap on the board. He's still got time. Across the line with 9 minutes to go, and you can set your lap time. Anything beyond that, you cannot. So who can actually set a lap time? We've got Gareth out there in another different livery. He appears to be the only driver out here who is regularly changing livery, which sort of hits the core of what we wanted with Jackocar at the very start. Everyone sort of changing liveries every week. We used to sort of really encourage it. But people have sort of gotten their brands now as such. You see Mike Keltborn, you know he's going to be in a purple car. You see Schmickles, the hell's he going to be in every week? He clearly hasn't figured it out yet. This time it's red and green. And he will get to the line in time. This is the last lap time we're going to see the start of. So anyone crossing the line after this, maybe the black car, who's that going to be? Of Leroy. Leroy might actually make it as well. He will. He will make it, I think. It'll be tight, but I mean, he should.
3, 2.
Yeah,
he's in.
Does make it.
This will count.
So he makes it. Mike Kelterborn will not, so he must pit here, otherwise he's going to be getting a penalty, and he's not pitting, is he?
As long as he doesn't produce a competitive lap.
Which he's obviously trying to, yeah. So he'll be hoping he doesn't hit the... We'll be hoping he hits the wall here, really, for his own sake. We can obviously give drivers a drive-through penalty. That's the penalty we give for this. Basically, we'll make you jump the start ever so slightly and then just take that drive-through at the end of the first lap, and that's how we run things when drivers muck about with the rules. We're 7 races in now, and as much as they confused us, and me particularly, these rules at the start, they are sort of set in stone now, and everyone should know them. So Mike, can't really defend it. So that's also a driver who will set a valid lap time, hopefully, in Gareth. After this, you'll be seeing Ben Harrett. You can see he's already out there on his out lap. He'll be the first of the Fast 9. Are all 9 of them actually here this week for the first time in 7 races?
They are.
Happy days.
Shocking,
about
isn't it?
time.
Because Chris Waits has finally been knocked out of the top 9 standings. And then the rest of them are actually here, including like Tony, who's missed a few races. But yeah, what about Gareth Hall? First competitive lap and only competitive lap this session. Comes up to the line here in Baku. He goes P5. I mean, I'm sure he'll take it, but it's not what he wanted.
Leroy's done this twice now, where he's been out of ERS so early in the straight. He'll go fastest, but I do wonder if he's sort of used the energy too early there. I wonder if these Fast 9 are going to sort of conserve the ERS a bit better. It's a shame we haven't actually got Casper out here on a lap, and Mike will pit, so he's not going to get any penalties. But it's a shame we haven't got Casper here, because Casper's always been very good at his ERS management, I think. And I know from one hub he's very quick around here as well, so it would have been really interesting to see his management of the ERS on a qualifying lap.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good watch today, coming through from the back, providing Tony sets a valid lap to make sure Casper's right at the back. He will definitely be a good watch.
Look out for this rain, by the way. You can see the grey clouds are starting to cover the track here. That rain is imminent, isn't it? Arnaud was also, I think, I say he was quick in one hub and back. I was way quicker than him, but I'm not racing tonight, so he doesn't have to worry about me. But that would suggest he's slower than Casper was, because Casper was better than the pair of us. So that could be a great excuse for Arnold, actually, if the rain comes. But he'll know his biggest rival for quote-unquote for pole position isn't actually getting to set a lap time. So that is interesting. Has Gareth had an issue on the way back in? Hopefully that doesn't get into the way of... Well, that's Leroy behind him anyway. That won't be a problem. Here's... Oh, look at that. Very tight to the wall there for Ben Harrett on the way into the middle sector. All the drivers, well, you can do nothing about it now anyway, but we're on simulation now rather than simulation standard. What was it we were on before?
Yeah,
which means any sort of scrape to the wall, which Ben Harrett looked like he was close to doing, that'll damage the tyres a lot more. And on a game with such high tyre wear, you tap the wall, do 10% damage to your tyre, your race could be ruined. Not to mention, if you hit it hard enough, you'll just flat out crash out. So we're hoping that will sort of up the safety cars, because as much as it's nice to have, 16 cars finish a race out of the 16 that started,
it's not very Jackocar.
it's just not our brand, is it? We're more expecting 8 or 9 to finish a race like this. So let's see how they get on. But Jacko obviously hasn't told anyone this. We're saying this on string, because I don't think the drivers really... They can do nothing about it now, but I mean, if they bother to pay attention to the rules, then they'll know. So actually Jacko has told them, but no one's checked, as our point. As Ben goes second.
providing they looked at the lobby settings, they would know. But if they didn't, then they are in for a shock because I've definitely not told them.
Okay.
Ben Harrop. Yeah, it's Jackocar. I do what I want. My name's above the door. Ben Harrop, by the way, he has never qualified higher than P2 in the Cup Series. The reigning Kia Series champion, we can still say, because it will never be replicated. But up next, Owen, I'm sure is Pete Knighton, because I don't have the screen in front of me.
He's gone second fastest. No one's been able to beat Leroy's time yet. Looks like Tony has saved quite a lot of VRS here. He's on hot lap, which again I don't like people using during a qualifying lap. It burns too much of that green bar you can see on the ERS on the left hand side. You can see that's about to empty. If you weren't on hot lap, you'd probably be able to sort of, well, he hasn't run out actually, but you'd just have more power is my point, as Tony does beat Leroy's lap time, put a second on it. We're getting towards the sort of lap times we're expecting pole position to be around, but if this rain starts to fall anytime soon, Tony could find himself right at the sharp end. Risky could find himself right at the sharp end, and he's been quick this season, and he could get this break he's looking for. Let's see how he gets on through the final sector. His ERS is already very, very low, and he's going to basically have no straight line speed through here to the finish, so let's just see how he gets on. And rain. Here is the rain, so this won't affect his lap because he's already on the straight. He's not quite going to beat Tony. He will go second, but this makes life difficult for everyone else out there. Ben Shaw's only in the middle of his lap, and this rain, from what we can tell, is only going to get worse, Jacko.
Yeah, thank you, Owen. And you know what I said earlier? I take it all back, because this has come at a time where everybody is, or I say everyone, all the big names, the big hitters, are on or starting their laps. So it's definitely going to have more an effect than what I initially thought. But that makes it exciting for us with an upside down grid. Sullivan Lewis P2, I don't think he'll be particularly mad about that, especially with how good Tony's lap was. Leroy, very happy. Pete Knighton and also Ben Harrop, very happy as well. Is it Ben Shaw over the line next?
He
will, I think, just about get away with it, but it's not looking overly quick. He's coming up to a car who gets out his way. He will still have the DRS, but no ERS as he runs down to the line there. Under the Qatar Airways hoardings, keeps the car straight, and over the line he comes then. Ben Shaw, Season 8 champion, P2. Good lap there. But that, I think, might be the limit of what these guys are able to achieve in the rain.
Johannes isn't too far behind him on track, so he may well have a sort of similar standing here. This is slow though. It is slow. This is going to be the bottom end of the top 10 here. It's P9.
Wow.
I'm not sure actually the rain affected that as much as we were expecting, because he wasn't that far behind Ben Shaw. I don't know if that'll have cost him 1.6 seconds, being only about 20 seconds behind on track. But anyway, we move on to Corey Dalton. We're running out of drivers here. And, I mean, they're all keeping it on the road, but I just can't see this being fast, as Corey nearly puts it into the wall. What's his time?
Same as me.
118.1 in the middle sector.
Oh.
Big moment out of turn 16. I think that is the last sort of traction zone on the track. He's got Arnold directly behind him. He's going to get a tow for his lap. But here is Corey Dalton, and I just quickly snapped on board with Jake, and this does look a bit too slow now. The rain seems to have really taken a hold, and Corey's going to be absolutely nowhere. P13.
Wow, look at that. That's so slow, isn't it? So Jake O'Sullivan, then what can he do? Let's give you some Jake O'Sullivan stats, because we've not done that for a while, have we?
He's going to be last here, Jacko.
Amazing, that's what we love to hear. 24 pole positions, but he can't do it on a cold Tuesday night in Baku when the rain's starting to fall. I don't think Arnold will do much better either. Corey couldn't do it. Johannes Semi got away with it. But yeah, Jake O'Sullivan, the three-time champion. He's done it in Silverstone, Saudi, and Abu Dhabi, but not in Baku. Only P14, and it leaves us with one then. Arnold de Grief, the reigning Cup Series champion. Big lock up there. I think it's very much over for the Belgian. Well done, Tony Kirkpatrick, on pole position number 10 in the Cup Series.
So Corey, Jake, Arnold, and Casper will be on the back 2 rows. That is
That's
absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And an absolute nightmare for all 4 of them, because they would very much prefer to be separated, I think, and not have to sort of fight each other while coming through the field. But they've got no choice. The rain has intervened, and I think Casper will be the happiest about this, because he's got, if he can get a good start, he may jump 2 or 3 of the quicker drivers already. I mean, if this was an official F1 session, this would be struggling to get into 107%. That's how much the rain has affected things here. Arnold will be lucky to be within sort of 8 or 9 seconds of pole here. So a little sprinkling of rain, and that's the damage it'll do to your qualifying. Tony, Ben Shaw, and Sullivan Lewis, the top 3 all-speed drivers. Leroy Hasselager, is he also a speed driver? He's not got speed in his name, but he must be a speed driver, hasn't he?
He is a speed driver.
Which means we've got a speed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because then Pete Knighton's in 5th, and yeah, Arnold 8 seconds off pole. Nothing he can do about it. Just bad luck on the timing. But yeah, speed, top 5. I don't know how often we've seen that. I'm sure it's happened before, but I'm sure they'll be absolutely delighted to see 3 ERTs in the back 4 as well.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I am distracted, but I am back now. Arnold degree. What was he? P15 in the end now?
Yes.
Awful. Shocking.
It's seconds off pole, just.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Well, let's give you a rundown of the grid then. Tony Kirkpatrick, pole position, number 10. Ben Shaw, on pole last week, would have liked to have got within 1 of Khalifa, but he will have to wait half a second away.
Was he on pole here last season, Ben Shaw? He's quite good at this track, isn't he?
I can't remember, but he was in Vegas. Sullivan Lewis, he'll be particularly happy with that. His best qualifying ever, by the way. P1, so he has had a pole before. Then Leroy, Pete, Ben Harrett, Robin up there in P7, very good. Jamie Griffiths, Johannes, and OKK complete the top 10. What do we say about everybody outside the top 10, Owen? They're too slow. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, Michael Okeke in the top 10. Happy days. And that's not bad after his crash, mere seconds into the session. He'll take that every day of the week. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Ben Shaw was on pole here last season. Obviously on a completely different philosophy of game and car. So this is a track he seems to gel well with. We know that when he's on pole this season, he tends to slip back to he sort of averages around P4, P5, P6. He'll be hoping for that breakthrough win to happen at some point, but even just to be on the podium would be good to see, because it is just it's not the Ben Shaw we know this, is it? Settling for sort of P4, 5, 6. That's just not Ben Shaw. We want him to be going bombastic, going for all the wins, and being a cocky little fucker in the chat and all the rest of it. The Ben Shaw we miss, really.
Yeah, a Ben Shaw we miss. 50 races without victory now. It takes us all the way back to the opening rounds of Season 9 at the beginning of his championship defence, and then we haven't seen him anywhere near the likes of where he got the heights of Season 6, 7 and 8 when he was in his prime fighting Jake O'Sullivan every week, and then of course people like Arnold and Casper returned, and he sort of slipped down the order a bit. Johannes as well in there, but I think this season has something in store for us, especially the way the knockouts work. Ben Shaw is a dead cert for the playoffs, but if he can stay in contention every week, 1 elimination as they go, I think he'll be all right. He could sneak into the championship 5-0, and that would be, let me get the stat for you, Ben Shaw. Where is he? Ben Shaw, that would be his 8th Championship 5 visit. More than anybody else.
And the thing is, obviously we know that race is going to be in Mexico as well, so there's nothing stopping any of these drivers if they're expecting to get through. There's nothing stopping them practicing that at any point. So, yeah, you don't have to be the best in the early stages of the season as long as you show up at the end. But I think for Ben's confidence, it'd be good for him to get himself towards that top step. Tony's going to basically sprint off into the distance. That appears to be his plan off pole. He's on the soft compound tyres, and I wouldn't at all be surprised to see him get off those on lap 3, frankly. Ben, Shaw and Riskey on the hards. I don't think we've ever seen a top 3 looking like that in terms of tyre choices, but that just sort of tells you how difficult the tyre wear is around here. like most tracks on this game, it is a two-stop race, really. Leroy, he's our Joker tonight. He's probably the best placed Joker we've had all season. He's on medium. He's going to go medium to hard. I don't think it'll work. The game thinks it could work. You can see that on the the AWS graphic there below. That's very well timed, that. But the game does think you can do a one stop, and for Leroy's sake, on his Joker, he'll be hoping you can do so. The Joker, obviously, we've already talked about this season. To win a Joker, you will have to put together the race of your life. But he has put himself in a good place to do it, though. We haven't obviously mentioned him for qualifying much, but yeah, he's in with a shout here. So we'll see how he gets on. I mean, lucky safety car at the right time. You don't have to, I suppose, you can pit whenever you want on a Joker, can't you? I mean, we have this whole don't pit. Your second pit stop has to be after halfway. Leroy's can be whenever he wants. If he gets a safety car lap,
or on the halfway lap.
Or on the halfway lap. So say he gets I think we've got 26 laps here.
Yeah, so lap 13 is when everyone else can pit.
But let's say he gets a safety car on lap, 10, 11, 12. Then he makes his pit stop. That's the sort of thing he'd be looking for. And then he'll just hope he can lead from the front. And yes, I did see that, Gareth. Was that Gareth? That was Gareth. I did see that. Hopefully less of that in the race itself would be preferable.
I didn't see it. Oh, the spin. I just got it on Jackocar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, dear. But
race number 199 in the Cup Series. All time is 307, so that's not quite as impressive. But it's time for you to say 3 little words once Gareth finds his spot. Schmickles out of line.
Look at how far to the inside Tony is pointing his rose gold liveried car. Boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing. And he's covered off the guys behind him straight away on those soft compound tyres. Not a surprise at all that Tony leads into turn 1. Looks to me like everyone's got through turn 1 without any contact so far. Leroy there fighting away with his speed teammate, and then there's a bit of front wing coming off. That's Pete Knighton he was fighting with, and Risky alongside Ben Shaw for second place in this race already. Ben Harrett up to P4, and a lot of side-by-side action into turn 4, and there's all sorts of contact going on there. Leroy got hit, there's a car off into the runoff area, that's okay, and everyone just sort of muddling their way through this first lap. And that's a bit of front wing coming off Corey's car now. There's front wing off, that's Jamie Griffith's car. Johanna's there in P6, just having this all happening behind him at the moment. But it's Tony who leads by over a second already. And now look at this, we've got Corey up the inside of Pete Knighton. These two both have damage, actually. So it's preferable for them not to stay side by side. And I mean, Pete just put himself in the wall there, really. And he's going to hit Corey in sort of... Oh, that's into the wall for Robin there. He hit the inside wall on the way in, and that's going to be a virtual safety car into the castle section. But surely more cars must have got involved in that. I think they've all avoided it somehow. But yeah, Pete Knighton there looked to me like he had a bit of road rage and just creamed into the back of Corey there to wipe his whole front wing off. So if that's done that much damage to him, then I wouldn't at all be surprised to see Corey with some rear wing damage, some diffuser damage, because you can't get hit hard enough by one car to have their whole front wing come off and you get away scot-free. And that was after contact in turn 7, where Pete frankly drove himself into the wall. I don't know where he thought Corey was going to go there, but of course he wasn't going to have the space to stay side by side. But anyway, I'm sure they'll be complaining and moaning about that. There always is. I mean, they can't pit on this out to fix the car, but it was only a virtual safety car. Is there any point? I think Pete has to, with his whole front wing missing. Hopefully no one speeds into the pits here when they come in. Someone always does, though. It's Pete and it's MK Bourne into the pits as we go green once again, and they've not spared, actually, so well done. And OKK as well. He's definitely not spared in there. So, Tony leading the way. DRS is now enabled, and even though more cars got damaged last week, Jack, well, I want to say that was a more chaotic start.
It felt it, didn't it? I actually decided to spend the lap on board with Casper, and there was front wing. I mean, Casper was, 14th at the time, and there was front wing flying all the way back from P5 back down the grid. There was at one point where Casper was behind Gareth. Gareth was avoiding someone's front wing, he went to the right, knocked it with his rear wheel, and it then flew into the direction of Casper. And they both managed to survive without punches, it appears to be the case so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've now switched to the battle for P2. On board with Ben Harrett myself.
OKK's down the same escape route at turn 3 than he was on the first lap. But doesn't look like he hit anything. Oh no, he did. He's lost half his front wing on the left-hand side. That's a shame. Having qualified P10, it was a good starting position for him. Big winner, or biggest winner, I'd say, off the start is Arnaud so far. To be getting out of there with no damage and already in P9, I think he'll be very, very happy with where he is at the moment. Here's Corey on the back of Jamie Griffiths, and he's having to hold back so much here before he goes to the pass. I think he might have passed him too early. Did he pass him too early? He did. No one got DRS there, so he did pass him too early, and Arnaud has a chance to pounce here. As Jamie Griffiths goes right outside of Corey into turn 1, that's a brave move. He's not going to make it stick, but Arnaud will, and he's up behind his ERT teammate, and these two have helped each other out all season long. Surely, with Corey having damage, he may just let his teammate go and drag him up the field, but we'll see what happens. Arnaud up into P8, Corey in P7.
The thing is, Corey's actually catching up to the cars in front, so there's no point letting Arnaud go just yet. Leroy's struggling behind Johannes, and you'd like to think it's not Johannes' fault. Has he just got past Leroy recently, do you reckon? Leroy falling down the order, our Joker driver?
He has. He's lost that one place, hasn't he, to Johannes. Just want to say as well, Ben Shaw is ahead of Risky. We didn't actually mention it, I don't think, but Ben Shaw
Risky was P2.
He was, yeah. I thought I saw it suddenly change. I don't know if there was a mistake on my end for missing it. He's been in the wall, has Risky. That's why he's lost his front wing end plate and a little bit more on the right hand side. So that may well have been a mistake at turn 3. That must be that we'll have missed. Tony! Oh,
Tony's
the race leader, front right puncture. Did he have that puncture before he went off? That's the big question, because that's a very unusual thing to happen. He'll recover back to the track in P11. I mean, it's too early in this race for his tyres to have worn out enough to get a puncture.
Wow.
His front right wing is broken, so has he nicked the wall on the way into turn 15?
Oh, he absolutely did.
And that'll be what's done the puncture then.
Yeah.
And look how difficult this is to get back to the pits. Leroy has left the session. That's a shame. Arnaud is alongside and making contact with Corey, but he is ahead of him and into the top 5 now after Tony's accident. My goodness. It's a shame I didn't catch out on stream there with Tony, but I mean, I suppose you never expect the race leader to put it in the wall. It very rarely happens. As we see Risky fighting side by side with Ben Harrett, we could have the two Bens 1 and 2 here, because surely Risky just won't have, the downforce to fight this one off. But look at Johannes as well in the background too. This is all helping Ben Shaw. 50 races since he last took victory, and right now, Risky is his best friend at the moment because he's holding the whole field up for him.
How long can he hold up a resurgent Ben Harrett and a super fast Johannes? So here they come through Castle section. This is exciting stuff. This has got to be our best race so far this season. And you know what? We're only on lap 4. Absolutely loving this one so far. Welcome back, Jackocar, as Ben Shaw extends his lead to 3 seconds. Fantastic stuff for the man, 50-0.
We've got a similar train here behind Jamie Griffiths for similar reasons. He's got front wing damage, and we just saw Casper and Jake having to be so patient as they followed as Tony's into the wall. Is he? This could be a safety car. It is. Full safety car deployed. And what a shame for Tony. In the wall 1 lap, out of the pits, and straight back into the wall. And his car has disappeared, but we'll ride on board with OKK because we may well see the remains of his debris, will we? Or no, game's just disappeared it all away. But he did crash, I promise you. That has to be what happened there. And, Ben Shaw, they'll all be into the pits, won't they? Apart from probably Leroy, but Leroy's AI, isn't he? Well, no, the AI won't pit. The AI won't pit, so Leroy, even though he's not here, when he gets back into the lobby, he'll find himself in the lead of the race, which will surprise him.
He has rejoined.
Has he rejoined? I hope he's rejoined, because I want to see the strategy play out for him. It's a bit early, the safety car for him, but if he gets another one, and based on how messy the start of this race was, probably will get one, then he may get that chance to make a pit stop. I reckon if he gets a safety car lap 10, he can pit for the hards and get them to the end. So he's in the right place at the moment. I suppose he'd rather this was green now, because he'd be able to have a gap to Ben Shaw and to Arnold, who, by the way, honest to God, he's 11 places up already, or no, 12 up already. And I mean, you could already, as nice as it's been to see Ben Shaw at the front, Arnold surely is now the favourite to win this race, and it probably wouldn't even be close at this rate with the pace he's had so far. You'd expect him to breeze past Ben Shaw on some fresher tyres, but I mean, Ben, he's got some fight in him. This is a real chance for him to win as well. But we'll see how we get on.
A message from Tony. Hit the wall going into Castle and got a puncture. Then got rear wing damage trying to stop the car. Come out, stopped as usual, lost the rear again into the wall. If you can make any sense of that. If
he's got rear wing damage, the second you touch the brakes with rear wing, you're going to spin, basically. And if you don't spin, you're going to hit something, because it's, if you've got, say, red rear wing damage, the game can't actually have your rear wing fall off, but that's effectively what happens. You might as well have your rear wing just cut off when you have rear wing damage on this game. That's why we, in Silverstone, saw KK spinning off like a top. We've seen it happen to Wes as well, even though he may or may not have got a race ban for that shenanigans. But it's the same sort of principle. Rear wing damage means your race is over, and on a straight track like this, no wonder he crashed again. Hitting the wall into the castle. I'm surprised he made it as far as he did, frankly, before he finally went up at turn 15. But yeah, it's just a shame, that, isn't it? You make one mistake, and that's what simulation does.
Yeah, I think we should keep this.
I quite like it. Yeah, we've already lost 2 cars in this race, both basically based down to the castle section. So
yeah,
good job, castle section.
And that excluding Vegas. It wasn't Casper's fault. It was a boring race. It was Jake O'Sullivan's fault. It was a boring race. We've got away with very good strategy races, but I think it's time we had the safety cars back, and back to our roots, because that's what we do best with the shithouse rules that go with it, and produce the results that you just don't expect. But how Arnold is up to P3 is incredible.
I'm just looking at OKK, just because he's last, want to see how far he's off the path. But he's not pitting here, and he's got front wing damage. I mean, he's under safety car. Just fix the front wing. Why not fix the front wing? Give himself a chance in the race, unless he's maybe got floor damage or something more important to deal with. But if you've got a front wing you can fix under a safety car, I'd fix it. But it means he's ahead of Gareth, I suppose. But yeah. 13 for the 14, Gareth, the 14th on there. We're still waiting for sort of any potential to come out. The problem is, right, this is a man who hates this game on principle, isn't it? So trying to motivate him to actually drive well. I think him winning a race in this game would be the worst thing to possibly ever happen to him. So I think, yeah, I'm sure he'll say he's just doing it as a protest for how bad the game is in his mind. I'm trying to make as many excuses as I can for you, Gareth, but you're on the PC. You've got to start winning at some point, mate.
Well, Gasper's won 2 on PC this season.
The winningest driver of the season, isn't he, so far?
Yeah.
Is he the only double winner?
Yep.
So, keep up, Gareth. One of those could have been yours. Is the safety car going to come in this lap, or are we going to get one more with Gareth and OKK far off the... But maybe that's why OKK didn't pit. Maybe he didn't think he'd be able to catch up. Because that safety car looks like it's going to stay out for another lap. That's 1 lap longer than it usually does, I think. Normally it's only out for 3 laps. I think this is the 4th lap of it, isn't it? Or is this just a very long lap? Either way, it gives OKK another chance to pit if he wants to. And he's sort of... is he thinking about it? Yeah, he's going to pit this time. It makes sense. Even if you're detached off the pack, you want to have your full front wing, because if a crash has happened ahead of you, then you'll be able to make positions up for free. you don't want to be one of those with damage. So, and Gareth's into the pits as well. Is he going to put some softs on just to make it more interesting for himself at the restart? Yes, he is. Okay, he'll be on new hards. And Leroy, he is our Joker driver, remember. He's leading the race. Probably the first Joker to lead a race this season, really. Wouldn't surprise me. Let's see if he can keep it.
Sorry, Owen, I'm not ignoring you. I'm having a debrief with Tony Kirkpatrick live. He's not happy. He said this was a great chance for him to win. It's a track he likes, and because of that, he's very angry with himself. That's summed up. I told him he shouldn't have crashed it into the wall. So that is your evening debrief with Jacko and Tony.
Therapy with Jacko.
Yep. Jacko therapy. It's a new thing.
There you go.
Branching out in 2026.
Can't wait.
Yeah. What's that? 10 weeks away? 11 weeks away?
It's pretty close, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. The new year.
That'll be year 7 for the league by February.
Wow.
And
into the 7th year rather than 7 whole years. But
yes,
yeah.
well, yeah, still, you know, an entire secondary school period that'll be.
Oh, wow.
Essentially, put that into context. Safety car's in this lap before we get too existential. And Leroy, he'll slow the field down, staying at a constant speed. He doesn't want to get any penalties. He's doing the right thing. That might just let Gareth and OKK catch up if he waits long enough to go. And in Baku, you want to basically wait as long as possible to go. We do have the restart zones, don't we? But I don't know where they are. But they're somewhere. They're probably after the Qatar Airways, if I were to guess. Seems like it'd be a good place to put them. Gareth and OKK have caught up, and Leroy has restarted this race, and Ben Shaw nowhere near him. That's a pretty perfect restart, and looks like, oh, we've got all sorts going on there into turn 1. My goodness, cars into the wall, and that's I think that was Ben Howard hitting the wall, but it was Corey all over the show on the way in. I can't believe he didn't hit anyone hard enough to cause damage, and it's all sorts of mess in the midfield here. I'm sure Arnold's absolutely thrilled to be clear of that, and he's now alongside Ben Shaw down the inside into turn 3. You expect no less, as into the wall goes Leroy. Arnold hits him, and I believe we've got a pile up behind. That'll be another safety car, but Ben Shaw hit Arnold, I think, and got front wing damage. I think Arnold leads it, and he's got no damage. And Leroy, well, he didn't cause the safety car, the pile up did. And there's all sorts of damage there, I would have thought, but another dramatic restart. This isn't the end of the world for Leroy. This, honestly, he can probably still make his pit stop here, get onto the hard compound tires, go to the end. This isn't the end of the world. Mike Kettleborn's had enough. He's left.
He's not happy.
He's out of the race, as well as Ben Hart, who just had a shocker of a restart. They are the two who got taken out at turn 3 there. And I'm going to have to assume it's from Pete Knighton backwards, where this debris came from. And you see what I mean with OKK there? All that pile up has happened. People have damage all up and down the field. And he changed his front wing, so he'll be able to make a few places up here. And look at that damage on Jake O'Sullivan's front wing. He's not having the day he wanted at all. Casper has no damage. Corey was well in the thick of it. I mean, I'm sure you saw him. He was sideways into turn 1. It was all over the show. No damage. Unbelievable. I don't know how he's got away with it.
I was trying to... I was part of the pile up. I was on board with Jake O'Sullivan. Somebody, I don't know if it was Michael Ben or someone else, just decided to just drive straight on, and I think it couldn't have been Ben Harrett. He was facing the wall. But where I was on board with Jake, we was on the outside, and he just got caught on the cars that were piling into each other in front of him. So that's where his wing damage come from. He was, up until that point, having a good battle with Casper on the run down from turns 1 to pretty much 3 when it all unfolded. And that's why you see him pitting now, along with Pete, OKK, Ben Shaw, and Leroy, the Joker driver.
Yeah, and I don't know why OKK's into the pits. He could have gained some trap position. Well, he still will gain some trap position, but, you could have been P8 rather than P10. I really want him to have a good result at some point in his life. Come on, OKK, sort it out. take the chances while they're there, mate. But Leroy, the lead driver, net at the minute, he'll be able to catch us at the back of the pack, and what he's now going to hope for is for this to go green and for there to be no more safety cars, which seems very unlikely. But that's what he's going to have to hope for here in Baku. And with Arnaud leading the race, Johannes, you never guess who's second place. These two should be able to sort of move away now from the field. It's a shame there that Ben Shaw got involved in the accident. I mean, it was Leroy getting the all-round to turn 3. Arnaud into the side of him a little bit, but no damage. And then, yeah, just Ben Shaw had nowhere to go. Turn 3, it just seemed that everyone got that corner wrong by the sounds of it. So I'm glad you were watching the back while all the stuff at the front was going on. Otherwise, we'd have absolutely no idea what was going on.
Just looking at Gareth in P7 with 4 stops to his name.
Yeah, I know.
Unreal.
Who knows how the man does it? He's behind his PC brother now here in Casper. Can they move up the field? I think Casper. Again, we know Casper's quick around here, and he'll know now Arnaud leading the race. He's got 4 cars between himself and the race leader. So he's got his target. Can he get up to him at some point in the second half? Probably the second half of this race. We'll wait and see. Jamie Griffiths and Risky, they're here on merit. They didn't get involved in the accidents, and that's why they find themselves up in P3 and P4. Jamie Griffiths, who again has been a bit anonymous this season. Hopefully he can stay up at the sharp end. It'd be nice to see. Although we were talking about resurgent Ben Hara, and that, well, look at it, it didn't end well at all, did it? So maybe I shouldn't have mentioned anything for Jamie. Maybe I should just have shut up. I mean, look at Ben Shaw as well. Just disastrous, really, all round that. He's on his used set of hard compound tyres, which is also probably not a good sign. But he'll want to be on the mediums for the second stint anyway.
Jamie Griffiths, by the way, 109 race starts without victory. That famous evening in Silverstone, where he beat OKK to it. OKK spinning to the infield.
I still don't think, like, in terms of all the Jackocar races we've ever had, I still don't think we have a single sort of other race that you can compare to that Silverstone race. Because you had 2 drivers who, no offence to them, just what the hell were they doing at the front? But they just had such incredible pace. They were just on there on merit and absolutely binding wheels of each other for the win. It's like, based on what we've seen before and since then, it's one of the most bizarre races I've ever seen.
The only one that springs to mind is Mike's Canada win when he beat Connor to victory. Of course, Connor ended up with a penalty. I think he was third. He should have been second.
He blew it. He blew the win on the final lap, didn't he? He got a penalty at the chicane at turns 6 and 7. I would have said as well, Tez in season 6 was that as well, but he was quick all season. He just kept binning it, and then eventually in Austria, he got the win. Oh yeah, just destroyed. It was an overtaking masterclass. That was.
And then there was ST Mats in Brazil, the same race where Jordan was very quick, like those two up front. But Jordan had to wait another couple seasons before he got his victory in France, which Casper famously gave to him. He was reminded immediately after he crossed the line. But anyway, less of that. Owen, let's go racing again, shall we? Arnaud leads the way.
Yep, and, well, I guess it'd be all looking in the mirror to this restart with Johannes behind him. We've seen these two have aggressive fights in the past. We go racing once again.
Jamie Griffiths.
And Jamie Griffiths will move up into second place. Will he? Down the inside. He's too late on the brakes there, surely. He's gone wide and Johannes gets him. And Corey's going to be up to third place, is he? He's going to be alongside. And down the inside. This is free wide. Be careful, guys. That's going to be more contact in front wing gone for Risky there. And I think Jamie Griffiths has problems. He's lost half his front wing as well. And who's that coming up alongside? And that's Casper. And look at that. Order is very much restored here by the top 4. But Casper, he's not taking any risks into turn 3. Is anyone going to take any risks? Not after last time. They've all got through safely. Well done. Thank goodness for that. And we may get into some sort of a rhythm here in this race. Leroy, He must have been being, I suppose, just very safe on that restart.
Oh, wait, damn it.
Here, hold on a minute. We've got more stuff going on up here. We've got Gareth really holding up Jake O'Sullivan. And look at how far he's fallen off the back of the pack. If I'm Leroy, I've been trying to get past all this, because if anything goes wrong here, he'll get wing damage. He's done well to avoid it so far. I think he's been playing it safe, which is why he's down in P11. But Gareth is just crawling, Ryan. Look at this. Jake O'Sullivan's lifting everywhere. What's Gareth's plan here? He loves to ruin a race, doesn't he? And he's doing it again here to poor Jake O'Sullivan. Sorry, we shouldn't really be saying that, should we? To the man who deserves it in Jake O'Sullivan. We have had a yellow flag in Sector 1 forever, but nothing's happening, I don't think. As Jake comes through here on Gareth, and Gareth saved all of his ERS, so if he's got any sense, it's time to use it. And he is using it. And Jake will just be absolutely dreading this. Here comes Gareth Hall up the inside. Will he be late enough on the brakes to not cause World War III when he gets to turn 1? Aww.
Brilliant.
That's a shame.
I just want them to have an aeroplane accident, because Gareth, when he's involved in an incident, is hilarious. He's the worst person to have a crash with.
Oh, dear.
KK gets through for 8th.
Even the thought of him causing an airplane crash is just fantastic, isn't it? As he falls down to P10.
So he's gone.
Not again.
Now you see him.
The third time he's been down there in this race. And Leroy, by the way, he's still just staying very detached, but his gap to the leader is now over 10 seconds in only one lap. That's partly thanks to Gareth Hall, but also, I've heard a car into the wall there. Someone hit something. No idea who. We'll move on. Nothing happened, probably. But yeah, Leroy. It's a tall order, this Joker. I think if he can get himself into the lead again and then just get safety cars all the way to the end, that might be the play, frankly.
Leroy.
Look at this! Oh, no. Gareth.
You missed it, Owen. Leroy had a run on Gareth, but then misshifted, and then stayed behind him. He couldn't make any progress, so Gareth shut the door to stop him from passing. Team player Mr. Hall keeping 2 team speedmates behind as he struggles to get the car around the corner. Here goes Leroy, going to make the same move Jake did. Can Pete Knighton follow through?
Oh, this
no,
be worse.
He lifts off.
There'll be DRS this time for Gareth, who hits the wall
Gareth
a tad. There'll be DRS for him this time. And for Pete Knighton, who, he'll be taking no prisoners here, will he? Here he comes, flying up to the back of Leroy Hasselager. You bore me.
Boring.
I know team play and all that, but whatever. Corey Dalton is he's got DRS on the back of Johannes. Unsurprisingly, Arnaud sort of cleared off a wee bit.
Out.
That's, you never guess who. He's not fixed that front wing yet, has he? Okay, so no wonder he can't turn into the left-handers. He's got no front wing left. And Leroy's hit the side of Pete Knight and taken him out of the race, and that'll be another safety car. Well, that's exactly what he didn't need. He's now got a front right puncture as well, so that's the end of the Joker then. Well, he may well even have floor damage, because it was a very side-on impact there with Pete Knighton, and he's going to have to struggle around with a puncture. And like I said, there could be floor damage. There's definitely front wing damage, and that's a fair safety car, I think. But will the whole field come into the pits? Because Johannes, for instance, has he got another set of hards? Can they all get a set of mediums to the end? Do they all have another set of mediums? I mean, there's been so many piss-offs in this race already. We may well see all 11 into the pits here, and I said in qualifying we'd be expecting this race to have only 8 or 9 finishers. We're kind of on target for it as things stand.
Yeah, because it ain't over.
Oh no, we're only halfway there. We're only halfway into this mess.
We are back.
And Leroy's into the wall very hard. His front right teeth laminated completely on the way to 15, and how that didn't take him out of the race, I have no idea. But if his Joker wasn't in trouble already, it certainly is now. And as I thought, we do have drivers staying out. We've got Johannes and we've got Corey staying out. The rest of them appear to be staying into the pits. Ben Shaw also stays out. Gareth, of course he'll stay, won't he? I mean, what's he got to lose? He's not got any self-respect to lose, has he? He's just going to be out there for the fun of it, and he'll be in P6 for the restart ahead of Jacob Sullivan. Oh, poor bloke. I shouldn't say that though. Again.
25 race wins.
Where's Leroy? Leroy's been overtaken. He's been overtaken by OKK. That tells you how bad things are going, because OKK was down in the runoff area at turn 2 while his accident was happening. Leroy's. And what a disastrous way for a Joker to come to an end. I don't remember many dramatic Joker collapses as bad as that one, but well,
I remember a good one. Gareth Hall, Silverstone. When was it? Kaya. Kaya smashed into him. And then there was another one. Gareth had another one.
Gareth ruined.
Pete drove
He
into the
ruined
side of him.
Pete. He ruined. No, that was him ruining Pete's, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Because he was trying to
I
block.
remember.
He was trying to block from on the safety car restart. Pete had the race effectively won. All he had to do was not be involved in an accident, and then bloody Gareth, coming out of Stowe, spins off and smashes into him. And it was one of the worst days in Pete's Jackocar career, that, because he was literally 2 laps away from winning the race. And that was pretty bad. But to see Leroy have 2 or 3 separate accidents on one lap, punctures, front wings flying everywhere, pretty bad. Back into the race in last place, a long way off the back of the pack as well. I mean, they're about to cross the start-finish line. These guys are only in the castle section, so there's a lot of catching up to do here. A second chance to pit if you're Johannes, and he's going to take it. Interesting. So Corey will stay in the lead, and Ben Shaw also pitting. He put Old Har. He stayed out, didn't he? So he's going to pit now for a new set of mediums. A lot of people coming in actually this time round. Jerry Griffiths, I think he left the session, so this is AI doing it, although hopefully he'll get back in time for the restart. Gareth, he's only going to lose 1 or 2 places pitting here. I mean, like I said, there's so few cars left, you might as well have your pit stop made, so that would suggest to me that Corey's... Oh my god. Leroy nearly crashed into OKK there. Massive lock up on those front tyres. That's not going to help matters for him at all, is it? But yeah, Corey leading ahead of Arnaud, ahead of Casper, ahead of Jake. So, like I say, order very much restored for those 4. They start at the back. Let's just get that position change graphic, wherever the hell it is. There it is. 12, 13, 13, 10. Very impressive. But Casper, he's on mediums against Arnaud's hards. I'm looking forward to this one. Should be a good old scrap, this, between the ERT boys. And possibly Jacob, he can... And Risky, and Johannes, actually. I mean, the whole of those... All of them are going to have to get past Corey as well. And, I tell you what, and Ben Shaw. Oh, Jacko, we've got some restart coming our way here.
Sorry, I was just having a phone call with Corey Dalton.
Right.
Because of the rule changes, he's questioning why everybody else around him is pitted. He's like, can I make both pit stops under safety car nowadays? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, fuck's sake. So,
well,
goodness knows what Corey Dalton's going to do, but if he'd read the rules, he would know that. So, yeah, some restart. Corey, Arnold, Casper, Jake, Sullivan,
Johannes, Ben Shaw.
Johannes. Anyone could win this.
Maybe not Corey Dalton, although mind you, if he gets a late safety car, and he'll probably pit for softs or something. He might have to wait for. He might have to cause it. Actually, I mean, these mediums are going to be so unbelievably ruined. Oh, he's not going to pit. Don't pit. He's pitting. No. Okay,
It makes a lot of sense.
Well, that opens it up, I suppose, for the guys at the front. That'll be a very interesting top 6 on this restart. Because yeah, Arnaud. I said him versus Casper would be interesting because I think Casper's the quickest around here, and Arnaud, based on the one-hub race, wasn't as fast. But in the one-hub race, I don't think we had a single safety car. It was very much just green all the way through, so this is a bit of a different scenario. He has come from the back of the field here, has Casper, and I mean, you may have the number, Jack, of how many drivers we've seen win from the back. I don't know if Casper has managed it yet. Arnaud has, but he can't do that today. He can only win from second to last. But Casper very much in the running for last to first here today.
Yeah, I don't have the number actually. It's not something you'd ever think to record, but Arnaud, I believe, has done 3 from the very back.
3, hasn't he? He's done it
4 from the back row. So, well, obviously 4 total. So you'd be looking for 5 today. I know Khalifa's done it, and somebody else did it as well. Was it Yuri?
I don't know. I only really know Arnaud's ones. I feel like we did have like a complete shocker of a last to first, didn't we? And maybe it was a Yuri one, but I don't know, to be honest with you. Have you noticed the cloud cover? I know there's not meant to be any rain coming in, but just worth pointing out that when we saw the cloud cover starting to come in during qualifying, the rain did follow. Not many in terms of grey clouds yet, but I mean, this race has been going on for a lot longer than we expected it to because of safety cars. So I mean, in normal circumstances we'd probably be on lap 21, 22 by now. So just worth pointing out, I think we've only got one more safety car slot, by the way. We had one VSC and this is our third full safety car, so I think that means we've only got one more safety car left. So
we'll see it as well.
And we'll see it, yeah.
Anyone can win this race as well. No penalties yet. I know it's harder to get them around here, but you normally see 1 or 2 by now.
They've been under yellow longer than they've been under green. There's probably just not been enough time to get any penalties.
I put my trust in them that we will see 1 or 2 though. Hopefully the race isn't decided off of a penalty because we've had too many of them. We're looking for a very good battle. Sullivan Lewis, by the way, up there once again, it must be said. What a season he is having. Owen Wyatt, take us to green.
Well, I said it under the safety car. Any of these top 6 could fight for the win today. And as Arnaud gets on the throttle, Casper, he's a bit asleep there on the restart. And we've got side by side with Johannes on the outside of Sullivan. And there's going to be contact on the exit there. I think having to back off there is risky. Sullivan just down to P5. And look at that, we've already got Corey side by side and into the wall. We've got more into the wall. Leroy, his whole front wing's gone again, and that's after contact with Jamie Griffiths. But I was just saying, Corey on the inside of Garth, already onto the back of all this. He's got OKK in front of him in P7. Shouldn't be too hard to get past him. And then after that, there he goes. And then, shock.
Sorry.
And then after that, it's all the big guns up ahead. So we've got that top 7 back that we were so excited about on the safety car. And look at this, Johannes, that's not a chance you're going to make that move. And luckily he backs off into turn 7. That would have been a bit of an airplane crash if he tried that.
Penalty I was talking about as well. Leroy got that one. 3 seconds on the board.
Yes, and I do feel like we may end up seeing him retire from this race at this rate with the crashes he's having. So maybe that penalty may disappear for my viewing pleasure, really. Just get him out of the race. But we'll see what happens on that. Hopefully none of the leaders pick up any penalties, but we'll keep an eye on it. No one's broken 1 second anywhere in this top 7 so far. Obviously no DRS until the start of the next lap, but that DRS detection zone is on the exit of turn 1. So it's worth keeping an eye on it. And we've already got Gareth was doing his holding up, and it's already 4.5 seconds between Jimmy Griffiths and Corey Dalton, so it's very much our top 7. But here is Johannes side by side with with Jake O'Sullivan, and up into third place, and Corey as well getting past Ben Shaw.
Here's something for you to think about. Since we brought in the previous race winner cannot qualify anymore, we've not had anybody go back to back. Casper Klein is looking the most lively to do that, winning last week. Can he win on a Tuesday? He's putting Arnaud under pressure, and also Arnaud, if he wins today, he goes ahead of the great Jamie Wright in all-time race wins. It would put him on 20. Jamie Wright stuck on 19. The all-time leader, Jake O'Sullivan in P4. He has 25 of them. Yellow flags.
Oh, hello. That's Gareth off this time, and I think OKK is there with him. Yep. And he's come to a stop here. Is OKK? Is he waiting for Gareth to come back out? They're each other's race. There is that OKK like trying to play fair with Gareth? Does he know who he is?
It's not worth it.
It's just not worth it, is it?
No.
Just gives him a chance to take revenge on whatever OKK must have done to him for him to to sort of deem a let through unnecessary. But anyway, that's their own fight. That's for P9. Up at the front, Casper Klein's going to get his first big dose of DRS out of the final corners and onto the main strip. But his ERS is quite low. Arnaud has done well here to sort of preserve a little bit of it and actually give
Sullivan
some firepower.
Sullivan Lewis wide, by the way. Corey should have him easily here. I know you're watching the battle for the lead, but Corey's about to move up into P5. Here he goes. In fact, Arnaud retained the lead, so yeah, the move of interest was Corey Dalton there with his late pit stop. Now back up into the top 5. Corey, by the way, sits 4th in the standings. He's 13 points behind race leader Arnaud de Grief. Still under pressure from Casper Klein. And Johannes, not the P2 man today, he's P3 at the minute, but here goes Casper. He's looking very, very close this lap.
Every now and then I am hearing little scrapes of tyres on walls, and every time that's happening, that is doing damage to whoever's hitting the walls, tyres. So it's just worth keeping an eye on. If people are doing that, could make the end of the race more difficult for them in terms of tyre wear. Especially if they're hitting the rear tyres off the wall, because the traction just is vital around here. If you start losing that, you're in real trouble. As Ben Shaw, he has a look at the back of Risky. He's already struggling with the rear of his car. And yeah, I think Ben Shaw, he'll want to get through. He was on the front row, he led the race. He ended up picking up damage outside of his own control earlier on. And Corey with a big slide as well, coming out of the castle section. They're struggling rounds here. Arnaud on these hard compound tyres, they wear slower of course, and it appears that he's got the most confidence out there. And I think a win, like I say, from 15th would be very impressive. As Casper, well saved. Wow. But that's outside DRS now. Johannes, he'll fancy his opportunity now. But he's not got the ERS. Well, actually, they both haven't got the ERS to fight. Casper, I don't think, was able to get into the DRS of Arnaud there. And Arnaud can save a little bit of ERS in response. Johannes has DRS, but actually he's just slow. He's just slow. Ben Shaw, only other guy sort of in DRS range. This top 7, they're actually just sort of stringing out a wee bit. Obviously, we've got a bit of dirty air in this game, but Arnaud just seems to have the pace over all of them at the minute. He's doing a really good job out there in the lead of this race. And we have another yellow flag, and that's another front wing gone for Leroy. He's playing his luck here, you know, because the amount of times he's lost that front wing, and Casper's gone! Casper's gone down the escape road at turn 3, and the first challenge has just become all the more impossible, you would say. Maybe impossible too strong a word, but it's very, very difficult now. With 6 to go, he needs a safety car to get back into this.
I would agree, Owen. It does promote Johannes back to his home, P2, but the gap left back to Arnaud has just given him that bit of breathing room now. Nearly 2 seconds. It is 2 seconds. Arnaud to be absolutely well happy with that. The gap from the German, and then the gap back to Jake O'Sullivan is another 2 seconds. So they've all sorted themselves out. There's a further 2 seconds to Corey, 2 seconds to Sullivan. Like you say, Ben Shaw's the only one who's really doing anything or who could provide something. But Risky is just about holding on to P5 at the minute.
And Casper, he's just cruising around here. I think his head might be a little bit gone. I think he's just going to take a minute to compose himself, hope for that safety car to come out. With Leroy out there hitting the wall again, he's got a new front wing on the car now, but there's nothing saying he won't hit it again. OKK's been going off everywhere. He's been doing well to get down the escape roads, but if it goes wrong, front wing on track or something like that, could be a safety car out. Garrett's probably just bored. He may just do it himself just for the fun of it. And you got Jimmy on his own as well, Jimmy Griffiths. So I mean, there's a lot of drivers there who could do with one, and nothing stops you hitting the wall, parking it in the right place, bringing one out. But depends who fancies doing a bit of race fixing, really.
We love a bit of race fixing.
Oh yes. Ben, he's got this DRS, but he's not been able to make anything happen so far on Sullivan Lewis. He's just sort of stuck there. And once again in a Jackocar race, doesn't matter how he gets there, he always ends up in, P4, 5, 6. It's just where Ben Shaw gravitates to in season 12. And he's going to finish there again at the minute. Unless
Ben Shaw.
he really picks the pace up. And there goes Leroy. I said there'd be another accident for him, and he's had one. Looks like we're going to stay green. Maybe we've already run out of safety car slots. Maybe one of them was a VSC that went to full safety car, but now we're down to 10 cars. I mean, we're always talking about OKK's challenging position, and if he doesn't crash out from this point at P10, he'll be pretty pleased with that. As Corey, there's a penalty for you. He is 3 seconds ahead of Risky, so he'll be okay. But he's not going to get. He's not going to advance up the field with that.
No, and here's his chance for Ben Shaw. By the way, I was just going to say he started 6 of the 7 races this season. Of the 5 that he's completed, he's finished P6, 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 P5, P5. And this is for P5 on track, which will become P4, his best result of the season, if he stays there. Ben Shaw to the outside of Sullivan Lewis. It's easy down the straight. Sullivan pits to make his life even easier. Shaw in to P5.
Interesting call from Sullivan to pit.
He's thinking playoff points. I like it.
New front wing as well for the pink machine. He'll come out in P8 with that, but I mean, with the pace advantage you'll have on those salts, you'll probably be able to get back up to at least P7. If Casper's head's still in the gutter, which it might well be, it could even be P6. But we'll keep an eye on it. He'll certainly set a blistering lap time as long as he doesn't keep hit the wall. But back at the front, looking pretty controlled here for Arno. Like I said, I'm expecting Johannes' tyres probably to start dropping off anyway soon because well, he's on the softer compound. They just don't last as long. But we saw with Tony in the early stages of this race, one little lapse of judgment, one little error, and the race could be thrown up in the air. So we'll keep an eye on it. But unfortunately, Jacko, the race has sort of died a death here, hasn't it?
It has. It's very much like the Netherlands when Johannes sped into the pit lane. It was all there for us and it's gone. But what was promising, there's another penalty by the way, what was promising is the start of this race and the new safety car, not the safety car, the simulation damage. I think it's something that we can look forward to, especially as we go to more traditional tracks. I'm sure we'll get traditional tracks at some point. Just had to cough. But yeah, it has died a little bit. It's very much up to Arnold to keep it on the road and get race win number 20. He'll be eyeing up the possibility of taking Jake's record of 25 wins away if it keeps going like this, because Jake has, other than his race win this season, he has not really been that fast.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it, for Jake? He's just been, he's just been really anonymous, which is weird because he won the season 10 title on F1 24. So, oh, look at this. We've got Risky coming together with Jimmy Griffiths. That was just a bit unnecessary, really, wasn't it? But, yeah, so Jake won the title in the same sort of philosophy of car and game on F1 24. Our only season on F1 24. So I would expect him to have more pace than this, just because the games aren't that different. And he was pretty good on the last one. So maybe the pace will come to him. I mean, this is the same guy that didn't win a single race before his championship win in Saudi Arabia in Season 5. He had won no races up to that point, and he showed up on the one race he needed to, and he won his first ever race. And it brought him the title. So, you know, if anyone can leave it late, it's him. But, yeah, I don't know. I've not really seen anything from him yet this season. Even though he has one race, he's just not really looked good, I suppose.
That was the opening week as well, when we did the Netherlands in reverse. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're going to finish your career 25 wins, it's a nice round number. 3 championships. Thank you very much, Jake O'Sullivan. Of course, there's unfortunately been no talk of him ending his career. That's just me and wishful thinking. Arnold leads the way, so he's extended that lead. I think you said just now, Owen, he's got the most confidence of everyone. And over the course of the season, he may not have the most wins. That is Casper, but Arnold has been the most consistent, and that's why he finds himself at the top of the championship on 90 points, 5 clear of Casper. But Casper's had a couple of P9 finishes. You know, Arnold's worst race this season was Monaco, which we spoke about, and Vegas, and both of those he was P4. So, you know, he's doing quite alright.
And we've never seen in the 18, 19 seasons of Jackocar, we've never seen a back-to-back champion. Could this be the first? Obviously, our reigning champion from F1 2020. We had last season on season 11. He's looking very good for it, isn't he, so far? But it's early days, but he's looking very good. Johannes here, his tires have gone off. He could be he will be under pressure here from Jake O'Sullivan towards the end of this race. So we could have an exciting last two laps with these two. Corey Dalton's in the picture as well, but he's got that penalty, so that's not really going to help him out too much. As we have another issue for Risky. It's the front wing gone.
No wing, yeah.
Into the pits he'll come then, but yeah. Arnaud. I mean, I wouldn't put your money on it, because it's never happened before, but yeah. Back-to-back champion. Potential. I mean, if anyone deserves it, it's him with the amount of times he didn't win championships through bad luck, etc. It'd be typical that two come at once, wouldn't it? But
yeah, we always said, how has Arnold never won a championship? Why did it take him 11 seasons to get one? You know, you look back to season 1 when he won the regular season and then had the biggest post-season fall-off of anybody. Didn't even make the Championship 5. You look at season 2 in Brazil when he didn't overtake Kyle Smith. Had he done... Was it Kyle or Jamie Ryan?
It was... I think it was Kyle. It was sort of both of them, actually, wasn't it, in the end? They were all three of them were sort of glued together. Kyle led the race, but he had the penalty, so yeah, he needed to pass Jimmy Wright, and he didn't.
Far too sensible. You look at season 3 when he put Khalifa on the grass and had a 3-second penalty, then Khalifa just simply had to stay behind him. What did he do in season 4? I can't remember. But
I think he got crashed into on the back straight. I think it was.
That was USA, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, you've got a line here quickly.
I sure do. It's 1 lap to go, and Arnold is very much in control of this one, and on his way to race win number 20. We're already talking about him. So you know what? Should we continue to talk about him? I think he's been excellent today. Season 2, 3 and 4 he did make Championship 5, by the way. Season 5, 6 and 7 he was not present. He returned into Jackocar in Season 8. He went to Vegas. The safety car rule at the time was that you couldn't pit. He left it late. He had to pit with Khalifa. Ben Shaw, obviously famous and formidable on that night. Season 9 he missed out on the Championship 5. Season 10 in Abu Dhabi he just was not present. That was very much a Jake Gear and Casper race. And of course season 11 champion Arnaud de Grief on his way, or what appears to be on his way, to championship number 2, but it's never that easy in Jackocar. As he finds his way through the castle section, he has been driver of the day. We don't do driver of the day anymore, but if we did, he would be it. Owen Wyatt.
So I've been on board with Jake O'Sullivan this whole lap. This is sketchy stuff from both him and Johannes. This fight for second place is going to be decided on the finish line, and both of these two could be in the wall before, and they are really struggling for pace, for grip, for everything. No such problems for Arnaud de Grief. He's now 6 seconds clear at the head of this field, and we're gonna watch him cross the line. But I'm going to stay on board with Jake just in case he gets past Johannes before he gets there, because he's right on the back of him. Right, let's quickly see Arnaud. He's dominated this race. He came from 15th. He made his way to the front very quickly, and he won in Azerbaijan. But here comes Jake O'Sullivan. Second place on the line. He's not going to get there. Oh, so close. 0.007. He was just a little bit too far back. And Johannes, of course he holds on for second place. It's what he does. Jake third, Corey in fourth. Ben Shaw, he just had no pace at the end of the race. Ended up P5. And Casper, we're expecting this to go purple. Didn't have a chance to qualify. but he's going to prove to us he's the fastest driver on the track. But it's only going to count for a P6, which is effectively useless to him. I mean, he's already won 2 races this season, so this is purely for pride. He'll challenge the pole position time with this. Well, I say that when he's nowhere near it, actually. 41.3. There you go. Jimmy Griffiths isn't present, I don't think. He did leave the session again. He's going to be P7. That's just good. Good result. Risky. Yeah, well, he's still got no front wing, has he? So that's not very useful as he crosses line in P8. Gareth is just mucking about. Maybe waiting for OK. He is waiting for OKK. This will be good. This is for P9 and P10. Just watch these two take each other out now. Yeah, OKK is not even going to risk this. He knows what Gareth's like. Look at him feathering the throttle. And he's still going to catch him. This will be... Oh, go on, Michael.
The important thing is, OKK has finished this race.
Well, hold on a minute. Let's just hold the line on this one. Oh, nice. And Gareth beats him.
I don't know, the game on my screen gave it that to OKK.
Oh, it did, yes. Sorry, for a brief second I said that Gareth, he had the penalty, of course, so he beat him across the line, but OKK does get P9. Despite bumping into him on the way across the line. But the stories really are now today. 15th to 1st. 5th time, as you say, Jacko, he's won from the back row in Jackocar in 199 races. We hit the magical 200 on Thursday night. Who knows where that race is going to be. But we know it won't be here. That's all we can really say, really. Hopefully it'll be a good race. We've upped the ante with the damage, and it definitely gave us an exciting first half of the race. Yeah. And Arnaud, once he got to the front, we sort of said it at the time, as soon as he got to the front, I didn't really see him losing it. We thought Casper might have had a chance, but he went down the runoff area at turn 3, and that was all she wrote on that one. So the order: Arnaud, Johannes, Jake, Corey, Ben Shaw, Casper, Jimmy, Risky, Michael OKK, and you've got Gareth in 10th. It's weird they both only gained 1 place, OKK and Gareth. They've been very much all over the show all day, but there you go. Leroy out of the race, Pete out of the race, Ben Harrett out of the race, Mike out of the race, Tony out of the race, and Robin out of the race.
And because we haven't mentioned it, Pete Knighton is now 190 races without victory.
Yep, which will mean his last win in Jackocar came at the 5% point in our history.
Oh.
So you really got to sort yourself out. 5%, that is right, isn't it? Or was it even worse than that?
No, it is.
No,
5%.
it is. It is correct. So yeah, come on, man. Got to sort this out. That percentage is going to dip into the 4s
or
after Thursday.
You're making me think now.
I'm making me think as well. No, it is 200. If you win 10 races into 200, I could be wrong here. Or 299. It is simple maths, isn't it? Yeah. What will it be next week? Will it be 191 next week?
Yeah.
So then that'll dip under 5%. It's near enough 5% at the minute, but it'll be under next week. Or on Thursday. Point is, you need to win another race. We're basically just making up new statistics now, just to really drive home how bad he's been. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
A little bit.
Anyway, will the win come on Thursday? Who knows? We'll be back, hopefully, all being well. I should have better internet connection, although it has to be said that didn't go too bad, I don't think, this one. So still, it'll be better. So that's the point. So we'll be back on Thursday. Race 200. We've not got anything planned, at least I haven't, but I'm sure we'll think of something. So see you on Thursday. Safe travels and all the